So today there will be two sessions. One session topic is about generative AI use cases, project lifecycle and model pre-training. And the expert was Pawan Kumar Jila, and he's working in M3BI India Private Limited. And the session two was fine tuning with evaluating LLM and agent architecture for generative AI. And the for this expert was Manikanta Lingamallu, and his designation was Assistant Consultants in Tata Consultancy Services, Washington, D.C. So within 5 minutes, the session will start. So good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Pawan Kumar Jila, a seasoned IT professional, over 19 years of experience in project management and technology. Currently a delivery manager at M3BI, a Genser company. He has previously held key roles at Sintel and other esteemed organizations, working on global projects across domains like student loans and financial services. And Mr. Pawan Kumar specializes in the robotic process automation, SQL, IBM DB2, and is certified in agile coaching and project management. With his extensive expertise and leadership, he continues to inspire and guide teams to success. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Pawan Kumar Jila. Sir, over to you.
Hey, thank you, Swati. Good evening, everyone. So I have brought one of our best resource, also best teammate with me. He is our colleague Srikanth Raupalli. He has around 18 years of experience, and recently, from last 5 years, he's working on, especially on Gen AI and data analytics. Okay, so I will be taking his help to for today's session. So Srikanth,
Sir, he joins, sir. Shrikant, sir.
yeah, he is here.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I was not able to unmute earlier. Are you able to hear me, Shwati?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm Srikanth. I have totally 18 years of experience. So I'm into data analytics from past 12 years. So today I would like to give a session on Gen AI.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I'm going to share my screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So coming to Gen AI, before learning this Gen AI, we have to have little bit knowledge on artificial intelligence, uh, ML, like machine learning, deep learning, data science. You might have heard all these words in our daily life. Have you? Otherwise, if you visit Amirpet, you can see all these things on the banners, right? Um, so coming to Gen AI, before knowing Gen AI, as I said earlier, we must know what is artificial intelligence. I would like to have this session more interactive because Gen AI is the new topic and we are seeing this in our daily life as well. So is it okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So normally in our daily life, where do we see artificial intelligence? Any examples?
The applications we'll see, sir, in like Instagram, everywhere we'll see so many. Because
Yes.
the
Yeah.
information what we ask in one app, the other also reflects that only.
Yes. So recommendations in YouTube. Okay. Also, when you are typing a message in the chat or you are typing a message in WhatsApp, automatically the next word it will recognize the next word and it will help you to chat the message, type the message. So just like that, recently Airtel users nowadays when you get a call from a you are seeing suspected spam like that you are receiving calls, right? So that is also an A. So there, what they have done is they have took the data and they have made it some patterns. So and they have labeled that saying that if the number is looking like this, then it is a suspected spam, something like that. They have designed it. So the reason the behind the scene they have used machine learning language to get that output. Okay, so Gen AI, there is a slight difference between AI and Gen AI. So coming to AI, for AI, we have to have human intelligence. We have to use human intelligence. For example, and it also needs data. It also needs data, historical data, right? For example, uh, there is you have a hotel. Before leaving the hotel, you are requesting all the customers to write the comments. Okay, and in Amazon also you will see a lot of reviews and comments for each products. You want to know whether this customer is whether this customer is going to continue to buy your products in future or not, whether his comments are positive or not, whether his comments are negative or not. You can't go through all the comments, all the thousands of comments, and you can't understand the behavior of the customer, right? So when you throw all these comments to that system, automatically it reads that and it will give you the output saying that this customer is positive, this customer is negative, this customer is okay, something like that. So you take the data and based on the keywords that are available in that comments. Suppose if great, awesome, good, if these words are there in that comments, automatically your AI system will recognize those patterns of data or the keywords of the data, and it will label that particular data saying that he is positive or negative. So here human intelligence is also required, and we are training that, saying that if this information is there in the comments, then give this output. Something like that we are doing here. So this is artificial intelligence. So there is a software, and it also requires human intelligence and some guidance to that data, so that it will help you to provide the information or the behavior of the customer for the previous example. So email spams, for example, you are continuously getting spam emails. So when you write an AI algorithm saying that if this email is continuously I'm receiving, so if this is the email ID, if this email ID is there in our SMTP system, automatically we have to tell that as a spam. So based on the existing data or based on the historical data, we will take a decision. Got it? So for decision making, for these kind of things, we go for artificial intelligence. Here, no creativity, nothing. Okay. Coming to Gen AI, it is not like that. If I want to write a poem, or if I want to design a paragraph, if I want to show, if you are expecting some output with some creative words, creative information, then we go for generative AI. Okay. So in generative AI is bit different from AI. Here, human intelligence is not at all required. So here there are a lot of models are there, lot of large language models are there. We have to make use of those large language models. So on top of that, we will request the system to provide the output. If you want creative output, so if you want the system to write a poem, it will write. If you ask a question, it will reply to you. Okay, it doesn't require any human intelligence. Okay, it has lot of training on internet data, so it will give you the information based on the prompt you entered. Got it? So we have in generative AI, we have text generation, image generation, music generation, and if you ask generative AI to compose a music song, it will compose. It will give you the lyrics. Or it will, if you ask him to provide an image based on your requirement. Nowadays, when you see any YouTube videos or any shorts, in that they are designing the images based on the content they have. So they're more relevant. You know how they're designing those images? Based on image generation tools that are available, AI tools that are available in the market. Got it? So we have text generation tools are there, image generation tools are there, music generation tools, video generation tools, like that. So many tools that are there in the market. And also these generative AI or AI is there in a lot of industries like healthcare industry, automobile industry, agriculture. So many things are there. I'll give you a small example. So there is a client. So what they have done is they have visited all the eye clinics in the city, and they have gathered all the X-rays. Okay, they have gathered all the scans and relevant prescription written by the doctor. They took all this information and they have created a artificial intelligence tool. Okay, so and they sold the same tool to all the eye doctors. So if you give any image of eye of the patient's eye, automatically it will detect based on the data that is available with it, and it will give you proper prescription for it. Okay, and it will diagnose the problem as well. Okay, so in lot of industries are using this AI, and and they are going to start Gen AI as well. Okay, making sense? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So these are the differences between AI and generative AI. So AI, it performs tasks require intelligence. So we have to tell the system, we have to provide a label information to the data. if suppose this is the information you identify, then this is going to be the answer for that. So that is what we have to tell. That is the requirement. That is the work that we have to do to train AI. But coming to generative AI, it always generates new content. Okay, based on the question we have asked. So you don't find creativity in AI applications, but you can find creativity in generative AI. Got it? And AI is, it is used for, analyze data for predictions, and, we predict the data. We can use it for decision making, to recognize patterns in operational fields. Mostly we use this AI in operational fields. But coming to the Gen AI, we use this mostly in creative fields. Got it? So this Gen AI and AI, these two, they have started, stretching their hands in reporting tools. Data scientists, data science, right? Data science is the study of data to extract meaningful insights for a business. So when the data is provided to that, and if that information is provided to AI, based on the abilities of it, it is very easy for the customer to understand the business, and he can take the decision accurately. Got it? So this is what the differences between AI and generative AI. Okay, but coming to the problem with generative AI is, there are some problems as well in before implementing generative AI in any organization. We have to we must aware of the problems that are involved in implementing generative AI. So the testing is very difficult, to validating the data. So we can't ask all the questions, right? Suppose to validate a small application we write, it is easy to write the test cases for it, and to validate that. But coming to generative AI, it is vast. It is very difficult to test. So it gives bias information. If you write a question in ChatGPT, who is Gandhi, okay, it will give you one answer. After 10 minutes, if you ask the same question again, it will give you another answer. But the content is same, but with different words. So the testing is very different because it always gives bias information. Okay. So to train those models also very costly. So I'll tell you, suppose the brain for our computer is CPU. The brain for generating AI and for AI and generative AI models, we have GPUs and TPUs. Those are very costly. To process the data based on the question that is provided by the user, to process that information, we need lot of resources. So lot of CPUs, lot of infrastructure that is required to maintain those servers. Those are very costly. Okay, so it is not an easy thing, to implement Gen AI or AI projects in AI projects. It is very difficult. We have to. Those are very costly. That is one of the main disadvantages of implementing any AI or Gen AI tools in softwares, to build softwares. Okay, but to practice, even for practicing also, sometimes we have to pay for that. We have to pay for, if suppose you want to learn ChatGPT and you want to build your own application in ChatGPT, you have to pay for it. Then they'll give you a code for you, a secret code for you. You have to use it, license code for you, and you have to use it, and you'll get paid for it. Okay, you have to pay for it. It is not easy to learn. It is not easy to implement in any of the software organizations. It is very costly. Okay, so normally this is how it happens. I'll tell you how it works. So there are totally 6 steps are there. Initially, when you open a ChatGPT and if you enter any input, so what it will do, it will accept the information. It will take the information from you. It will try to understand what are the keywords that are available in your question. That is called prompting. You will call it as prompting. You prompt. Okay, so it will analyze that. It will try to understand what are the keywords, and it will what it is going to do is it will try to fetch proper transformer. Here transformer is nothing but the underlying codes that are underlying program that is there in the model. So it will try to search the proper model which is relevant to your question. Okay. So the prompt will understand, it will give you, the program will understand the question and it will give you proper output. Okay. So ChatGPT identifies keywords and phrases in the prompt to understand the context of the question. After that, ChatGPT accesses its database information to find relevant information for it. So after understanding your question, so what it is going to do is it will search for the information that is available in that model. Okay. And it will give you the output. Okay. So those transformers will convert the keywords which you have given, and it will identify proper model that are there in, identify proper program in that model, and it will give you the output. Okay. So here ChatGPT, after that, on top of the question you have asked, you can continue asking questions relevant to the first question. Okay. Suppose, who is Gandhi? It will give you proper information. After that, it is not necessary for you to always tell that, who killed Gandhi, like that, you no need to ask that. Just who killed him. If you give that information automatically based on the previous question that you have asked, it understands what your intention is and it will give you the output. Got it? Yes. So as I said earlier, it is there in different fields. We have in healthcare, in education. In healthcare, we have AI applications for early detection of certain diseases. In education field also, we have to learn or to build strategies for your learning. We have these tools that are there in internet. With the help of that, you can make your life easier. Okay. So farmers, for agriculture, in agriculture fields also, farmer.chat is there. If the farmer have any questions about if he has any questions, then he can ask to that chatbot, and then it will give reply to him. Okay. So many tools are there in the market. So many tools are helping the users, and and they are getting answers for them. And here, one more important question what we have to learn is, so asking question is very important. So because for every question, for every query, here question is called as query. For every query, ChatGPT is going to charge the users. Okay. So while asking the question itself, you should be very clear and proper question you have to ask. If you start asking more questions, then you will be charged more. Got it? There are so many models in the market. So like, ChatGPT is providing a lot of models. Gemini is providing a lot of models. Hugging Face is providing a lot of models. But these models are not tested. These models are not tested completely. Suppose if you ask, if you go to Hugging Face and if you ask what is the capital of India, it will give you Kolkata or Chennai, like that. Because those models are not tested properly. Got it? So if you pay more, then you will get you will get highly tested models, very quality models you will get. Got it? Till now, any questions?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, AI for agriculture education, in how we are using?
So suppose, as I said earlier, based on my previous example, for example, you heard of the example which I have given for eye clinic, right? So there are some facts based on the agricultural study. Suppose he suppose he has a groundnut plant or something like that. He is getting there is some problem with that. There is some suppose there is some problem in this field. He can take the snaps of the he can take the photos of those of that field, and he can upload it. So then it will tell this is the problem that is there in that. So we can go with it, or you can use this medicine for that to overcome that problem. Something like that, artificial intelligence is helping the farmers, because lot of data is getting loaded in that particular application with all the problems that farmers will face. What are the solutions for that? Okay, we will train those models.
Right.
Based on the input you provide, it will give you proper information to you. For example, suppose you have ordered an item in Amazon. Okay, they said that you will receive that product in next 2-3 days, but you did not receive it. So what you are going to do? You are going. There is a chatbot in Amazon. So when you ask a question, automatically it will tell you based on the information that is available with Amazon. Are you asking about this order ID? Are you asking about this order? And this is the latest status of it. Like exactly implies in agriculture field as well. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So whatever the question you ask, because it has all the information, right? Whatever the information that is available in the internet about agriculture and the problems they face and the insects that that are bothering them, every information is available in that model. So we train that model and we'll provide that information that is available in that in the internet. Based on that, it will understand the keywords that you provide in that AI prompt, and it will give you proper information. Got it?
Yeah. Just to add on top of that, you can see a crop monitoring. So for agriculture. So suppose using the sensors and drones, we can monitor the crops and the current status and how the leaves are looking like and what is the health of the fruits. Based upon that, AI will suggest if you need any fertilizers to be added or if you need to use any pesticides. And if you have to use pesticides, how much amount of pesticides we need to use. So all these things will be suggested by AI. And again, so coming to machinery, suppose you are building a machinery and the mission to plug the apples or the mission to plug the tomato can be the same. Using an AI, you can control the sensitivity of the plucker. So for apples, you can pluck it with more pressure. But when you are plucking a tomato, you need to be little careful. You should not be crushing them. So the same tractor or the same machinery can be used in both the fields by applying AI in the middle. So just want to add on top of that.
Yes.
Okay,
Hope you got the answer. Yes. Yes. So here to implement generative AI in your company or in your organization, there is a life cycle for it. Suppose what is the requirement? First, you have to understand what is the requirement and what is the problem statement for it. Suppose you want to build a solution, AI solution for blind people. So they suppose you want to build a library and that should help the people who are blind as well. Okay. So for them, text to speech is the solution for that. Okay. So if you provide the text information to that system, automatically it will read so that a blind people can understand easily. So this is the problem you have, and you want to build such solution for blind people. Okay. So that is the problem statement, and for that you have to collect the required data to achieve this, to accomplish this solution. Okay. So you have to gather information from the internet, and you have to understand what are the models that are available for Gen AI. What are the models? Text to speech, this is my requirement. What are the models that are available in internet? What are the models that OpenAI is providing? What are the models that Gemini is providing? What are the models that Meta AI is providing? So you have to search for proper model. So we have lot of foundation models, large language models. These are all there. Okay. So foundation models are nothing but those models are trained on internet data. It has lot of information. Whatever the question you ask that you are aware of, it will provide the solution. It will provide the information for you. Okay. So coming to LLM is nothing but the model that is required. So you are going to configure your model based on your requirement. Okay. So your requirement is speech to text. Text to speech. Okay. So your LLM will be configured. The configuration. So you will download that foundation model and you will configure it based on your requirement. Then it is called a large language models. Got it? So after that, what you have to do, you have to implement that, you have to as you are collecting a lot of information from the internet, you have to clean it. You have to take whatever the data that is required for you. Okay, then you have to train the model based on your requirement. Okay, then you will evaluate it properly and you will implement that in your application. So this is the life cycle. So first thing is problem statement, then identifying the right model. After that, cleaning the data based on your requirement and training the model based on your requirement, and evaluating it is nothing but testing it and releasing it to the users. This is the Gen AI life cycle. Okay, so this is going to be the same for almost all the models. So here the most important thing is model selection. This is very, very important. Okay, so as there are many models in the market, we have to choose the right one for your requirement and based on your affordability. Got it? Because as I said earlier, lot of companies are providing the models, but all the models are not properly trained, and due to that, and the cost of that, such models are very, very minimal, and some models are free as well, because it is not giving the right content to you, so nobody is going to use it, right? They will use such models to practice this prompt engineering thing. Okay, before proceeding further, so here, as I was telling earlier, asking question is very, very important. So if you are expecting something from Gen AI, you have to make sure that your question is properly asked, your prompt is correct. Otherwise, if you don't ask the question properly, you have to ask the question again, then you will be charged for it. Okay, so for that, you must learn prompt engineering as well. Got it? So prompt engineering is nothing but asking the right question properly, asking the question properly to the system to get proper information. Got it? So there are so many models that are so many things are there in prompt engineering. So there are zero shot, single shot, okay, and chain of thoughts. So many concepts are involved in it. So at the end of the day, what I was trying to say is learning, asking, prompting the question is also very, very important. Okay, based on your requirement, it is going to give the output. Got it? Yeah. Next. So understanding model pre-training. So here, as I was telling earlier, we have to train the models based on your requirement. Okay, so pre-training involves training a model on a large data set to learn general patterns and representations before fine-tuning it for a specific task. So pre-training is nothing but providing internet data to that. Okay, and whatever the data that is required for us is only required for, we have to give proper training to that by providing internet information, and we have to clean it, as I said earlier. Okay, pre-training is very, very important because it saves time, it improves the performance, it reduces cost as well. Okay, so we have to, when you choose the model, you have to train it properly because you know your requirement. So based on that, you have to provide information to that. So that it can understand the question easily and it will give you proper output to you. Okay, so there are different models are there. For example, supervisor training. So first, before going to this supervisor training, we have to understand what is labeled data. For example, I'll give you. So here there are dogs. Okay, so you know that for this image, dog is labeled. So whenever we see this one, you know that it is dog. Okay, so dog might be like this or this, cat. So whenever there is a data that has a name, then we call it as a labeled data. In internet, we can find some information which is not labeled as. Okay, for such information also, we have to label the data so that it can understand the question easily, right? So you understood, right, what is labeled and unlabeled data? Yeah. See, supervised learning is a category of machine learning that uses labeled data to train algorithms, okay, to predict outcomes and recognize patterns. Okay, so here if you see, this is labeled data. So if the system identifies this image, automatically it will predict carrot, capsicum, or bell pepper, or this is tomato. So this is called supervised data. So proper column and row based data, so that it can easily understand what it is exactly, what data you are talking about. Okay, for example, supervised learning is nothing but I'll tell you. Suppose image classification. Suppose you have in the prompt you have loaded an image and you are asking what is this image. Okay, it will give you the output. There are some image classification AI tools are also there in the market. Pick any tool from the internet, you load it and you ask what is that image. So it will give you the output. It will give you the image output. Suppose you load Modi's image, automatically it will tell you Narendra Modi. It will give you the output as Narendra Modi. How it is telling? So we are properly training that model, and we are labeling that information. Okay, it is recognizing, it is doing the face recognition, and it is giving you the output. Okay, this is called supervised learning. For example, as I said earlier, recently Airtel has implemented, right? As I said, they have used artificial intelligence. Whenever you receive data from these kind of numbers, these numbers automatically it will give you as suspected spam. Okay, whenever suppose there is a ICICI customer, so he took a credit card and he did not pay for it. So they will train the data saying that if you receive any request from this user with these demographics or with these properties, you will automatically put him in blacklist. Okay, so this is called supervised training. So we have data and we are labeling it. Got it? So this is called supervised learning. This is one kind of data that is available in the market. We have another kind of data as well, unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is also a technique in artificial intelligence. Here we are not going to name it. For example, if we see, it is predicting based on the size of it. Okay, even though it is red color, based on the size of this one, it is categorizing it. Okay, if you want to do any customer segmentation, okay, if you want to based on the patterns. So suppose, for example, there is a kid in your home. Okay, from childhood, there is also a dog at your home. He knows that it is the dog, but he is not aware of the breeds or anything. Suppose when you take him outside, if you see any dog, he will recognize automatically it is a dog. How? Because even though we did not tell him that what it is, based on the existing information that is available in his brain, he can able to recognize that it is a dog. Okay, that is called unsupervised learning. Okay, based on the information that is available, it doesn't require any human supervision. Okay, suppose you have provided a data to it, based on the nature of it, or based on the properties of it, automatically it can understand it is this information. This is pertaining to a customer, this is pertaining to a product, this is pertaining to finance, so that it can automatically categorize the information. So this is called unsupervised learning. We have to do both kind of learnings to your model to make sure that your software is giving the right output to the customer based on his query. Got it? So sometimes here you will get the output in a zero shot. Suppose you ask a question, automatically based whatever the answer you are expecting from that, you will be getting the output. Sometimes you don't get. For example, if you ask you a question, if I ask you, sun rises in the east, is it correct or not? It will automatically give you true. And if suppose you ask a reasoning based question, suppose there are 10 people, for those 10 people it takes 5 hours to build a wall in 1 hour. How much time does it take for 20 people to build the same wall? So if you ask these kind of questions to the prompt, it is difficult for the prompt to give you the answers. So what you have to do, sometimes you have to, while asking the question itself, you have to give an example. so that it will get trained automatically based on the logic that you have mentioned in the question. Automatically it will try to understand it and it will give you the output. Got it? So you coming while learning this, Gen AI and these things, you have to have knowledge on how the person is going to ask the question, how the queries are. Okay, this information is very, very important, before training the models. That is why we have to train it. You have to train your model in such a way for supervised learning you have to do, unsupervised learning, and self-supervised learning. These are all the trainings you have to give to your model to help the customer. Got it? Yeah. So model pre-training process. So how you have to, what is the process that is involved to train your model? Okay. So as I said earlier, data set selection. So suppose you are in chemical field. Suppose you are in chemical field. So it is not necessary for you to provide complete internet data to that model. So whatever the data that is relevant to your chemical field, that on that particular data you can train your model. Okay. So data selection is very, very important. And next, architecture. So based on the question you asked, it has to process the data and it has to give you the output, right? Even in your computer also, if you ask any question, it will go to the CPU, which is nothing but your brain. It's like a brain to the computer, and it will give you the output. You will get the output. You will see the output on your screen. Just like that, whatever the question you ask to the model, to receive the question that customer has asked, and it has to process it, and it has to pass it to proper transformer, and the transformer has to give you the output. To do all this process, the brain should be very big. So that is why you have to choose, so many architectures are there, like GPUs, TPUs, so many things are there. So you have to do proper architecture. Okay. After that, you have to pre-train the model. As I said earlier, you have to train the model based on the data set that is giving it to you. Okay. And you have to make sure that what sort of questions the people are going to ask in that field. Okay. So you have to be very clear with the requirement. After that, you have to fine tune the model. Fine tuning the model is nothing but based on your requirement, you have to fine tune the model. Like, your model has a lot of data. So you have to filter it. Whatever the data that is required for you, you have to take it and you have to configure it based on your requirement. So this is model pre-training process. So these are the processes we have to follow to implement. These are the processes we have to implement to design proper generative AI or AI model. Okay. So the challenges which we face in generative models are, as I said earlier, quality is very, very important. Quality of data is very, very important. If you start giving, raw, if the data set which you are going to choose is not relevant to your requirement, automatically the data which you are going to the output which you are going to get is wrong. Okay, so you don't get the quality output, even though your question is relevant. Okay, so we have to make sure that proper data set has to be prepared. So data quality, and as I said earlier, testing is very, very important. We have to test it thoroughly, and you have to and that the engineer which you are going to test that model, he has to do out of the box thinking, and you have to ask the questions properly. Then he'll gain confidence before sending it to the customer. Okay, so as I said earlier, it is very costly. Implementing Gen AI and artificial intelligence softwares, it is very, very costly. So to get the resources like tensor, graphic processing units, those are very, very costly to implement. And as I said earlier, it will give you biased information. Suppose you ask a question, the output that it is going to provide now and after 2 minutes is different. Okay, so sometimes it will give you wrong outputs as well. Okay, and ethical concerns are also there. We are seeing like so many misinformation related deep fake so many ethical issues are also there nowadays we are facing. So we have to be and implementing generative AI, there is one more problem. What we have observed is, suppose if you are implementing any Gen AI project in your organization, we have to make sure that it is not getting trained on our organizational data. Okay, suppose I have asked you a question. How many people died during COVID? It will give you the output. And if I ask you how many people joined in your college after COVID, it can't give you the answer because that answer is not available in the internet, right? So you are configuring your model by providing your organizational data to it. And you have to make sure that it should not get trained on your organizational data. If it get trained, then anyone anyone using internet can take that data. So we have to make sure that it is secured. So that problem is also there with Gen AI. So that is why most of the companies are thinking twice to implement Gen AI in their companies, because every day Gen AI models are changing, and to implement it is very costly. So that is why, and there are a lot of security concerns are there. So that is why a lot of organizations are facing challenges. So they are thinking twice to implement Gen AI or AI projects in their companies. Okay, so lot of companies are there which are providing models. Suppose TensorFlow and PyTorch, they'll provide you Python libraries. We have to inherit those libraries in your program, and you can configure your model, and you can add your organizational data to it, and you can build your own system. So Hugging Face transformers, as I said, so many models are there in Hugging Face system, but those are not properly trained, and most of the models are free. Okay, OpenAI. This is OpenAI is very costly. Here, a lot of the models are well trained, and you can blindly buy those softwares, and you can start implementing Gen AI in your organization. So lot of tools are there. Open source software are also available. As I said, Hugging Face. DALL-E is also there for image generation and video generation. DALL-E is also there, and lot of frameworks are also available in the market to implement Gen AI software, like LangChain. So LangChain is it facilitates the integration of large language models into applications. To convert large language models into required applications that you are looking for, we have LangChain is the framework that is available in the market. Okay, so overall, generative AI is very powerful, and it is evolving rapidly day by day. The way of understanding the question, so many people are researching on it. Even Google, OpenAI, so many people are doing a lot of researches. Earlier it was not able to provide answers for the reasoning kind of questions. Now it can able to easily provide answers for reasoning kind of questions as well. Day by day it is evolving. Okay, so understanding the project lifecycle and importance of the model pre-training is crucial for success. As I said earlier, whatever the data that is required for your requirement, we have to take it, and we have to tweak it according to your requirement. Okay, and we should be, as it is evolving every day, we have to make sure that what are the new models that are available in the market, what are the researches that are happening, what are the new techniques that are involved in it. So these things we have to be aware of every day. Okay, that's it from any questions from anyone?
Participants, any questions from you people? You can ask Pawan sir.
Okay. Yes. Yes, Shania. Yes. Yes, please ask me.
Shani, you can try unmuting now.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Good
yes.
evening. So I thought, how does model pre-training differ from fine tuning and what is its importance? Can you tell me?
So fine tuning, right? Fine tuning and model pre-training. See, model pre-training is nothing but, you have to train your model uh, based on the based on your requirement. Okay, based on your requirement. Fine tuning is nothing but, so what are the questions they are going to ask? Suppose there is an organization, for example, any take any RS Brothers or any or Pantaloons or whatever it may be. So totally, how many units were sold? That is the question that your client is going to, that your head of that Pantaloon store is going to ask. How many transactions, how many units were sold today? But there might be, he can ask the question in another way as well. How many transactions were happened today? Okay, so his question is same, but the terminology is different. So you have to fine tune your process based on the terminology that is going to be used in that particular field. Got it?
Yeah. To add on top of that, for example, ChatGPT, right? Everyone knows ChatGPT. So right now, OpenAI ChatGPT is mostly working based upon the information we have on internet. So it's a generic information. Okay, so it's just reading the generic information from internet and answering our questions. That is pre-trained. But fine-tuning is like training a chatbot. So when you go to Amazon chatbot or any other website chatbot, they train it specifically for that purpose. So if suppose in ChatGPT, we say if you say okay, thank you for your assistance, it will respond you back. Yeah, hope I was able to assist you. See you soon. That's the simple answer you'll get from ChatGPT. But if you tell the same thing in an Amazon chatbot, thank you for assistance, it will reply back specifically for Amazon saying, okay, thank you for your support and keep shopping on Amazon and hope you'll enjoy our Amazon services. So that adding that Amazon at the end is called the fine tuning.
This is just one example. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? So while you are looking out for your questions, let me share a story. Might be you might have read that the Gen Z, you guys might be on internet. Yeah, Swapna, you have something?
Yes, sir. I have a question. Good evening, sir. Yes, my question is that do we have any limitations of generative AI? Hello.
Yes, limitations means, can you elaborate?
Hello.
Yes.
Like, does
Yeah.
we have any limitations for the generative AI? Like, what are the limitations that you have? We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
any
yeah,
that stuff?
limitations. Yeah, yes. Let me take you there. So these are all the limitations. These are all the challenges, as I said. So uh, when you want to use generative AI on your organizational data, we don't know that, it is getting trained on our organizational data. There is some security threat. Okay. If it got trained, suppose another company is also going to use the same model that you are going to use, if
Okay.
and they can able to read the data of your college, then it is a security threat, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that is a very big limitation now. So that
Okay.
is why all the companies are thinking twice to implement Gen AI. See, AI has implemented long ago. AI was there in the market from 5 to 7 years, but Airtel recently implemented, ML. Nowadays, when you get any call, if you are an Airtel user, you will definitely see that suspected spam thing. AI was there in the market since 7 to 8 years, but they have implemented recently. That too, not generative AI. They have implemented that in AI. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And very costly. That is another limitation. Very, very costly.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other
Any
questions?
I guess that's it. Sir, on behalf of everyone present here, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to you for taking the time to share the expertise and insights with us today, sir. Deeply appreciate your graciousness and willingness to impart your knowledge, making this session both impactful and memorable. Once again, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, team. You have been very patient and very good listeners beyond your.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you,
I
sir.
would I would like to uh, call it. It has been an absolute honor to have Manikanta Lingamallu with us today. On behalf, so it is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest lecturer Manikanta Lingamallu for today. With a stellar career spanning over 4 years as the Informatica Senior Developer and Project Manager at TCS Chennai, and now working as a Snowflake Developer and the Project Manager at TCS USA, they bring a wealth of experience and expertise to the table. So, our speaker has had the privilege working with the top tier clients such as Bank of America, Chase Bank, and Westpac, and has hands on expertise with cutting edge technologies like Snowflake, AWS services, Informatica Power Center, additionally as a certified Scrum Master. So they possess exceptional project management and agile development skills, which have been instrumental in the success of their projects. So we are excited to have him share his insights and experiences with us today. Sir, over to you. Manikanta, sir.
Dear participants, this is Dr. Harikrishna Bommala. I think all of you on your video, we can take one pic. It is mandatory to all. All of you, please participants, all of you on your video, we can take one snap, 1 or 2 snaps. Every session will be required. Please, all of you, start your video. Please, each participants will be required for on your video. Swati ma'am, please follow up the all the participants will be required for the one video.
Every participant, please on your video to take a picture. Everyone, please. Please, everyone on your video, every participant.
Ganesh Bandala, please start your video.
Janaki ma'am.
Mallikarjuna Sindhu, Jeevita Jamal, Haindavi ma'am, Shravan Kumar sir. Please, all of you, on your video, you can take one picture.
Please, everyone, please on the video.
Start your video, all of you. It is mandatory to all. Thank you for to all participants. With your cooperation, every session will be required. You can be login. Every session you can take in the attendance as per the ATAL AICT ATAL will be says that every session attendance will be required from taken from the Zoom. So please, all of you log in, enter the sessions. All the sessions will be required for the attendance to be taken from the Zoom only. And every session feedback will be required. All you can share in WhatsApp group. 1 minute video will be required and one assessment will be there.
Sir, when the assessment will be, sir?
End of the day, end of the FDP. Last
Oh.
date can be shared the assessment, 20 marks questions,
Okay,
20
sir.
or 30 marks.
Okay, sir.
Sir, yesterday's feedback link was shared in the group.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. In WhatsApp group is there, ma'am. Once check it
Okay.
out.
Okay, I will check, sir.
For two sessions, this
Every
shared,
session
ma'am.
feedback will be required, and enter the 13 sections. 13 sections feedback will be required, and one feedback overall sessions, and ATAL portal also one feedback is there. And end of the FDP we can share it all the things, and 1 minute video will be required about the FDP, and one assessment. 80% attendance will be required. Okay, thank you, our participants. Stop your videos, research personal vision. One check it out. Shruti ma'am, Swati ma'am, one check it out. Shani and Swati.
What, sir?
Lingamallu, Manikanta.
Sir was already joined, sir.
Okay, may
Already.
give the permissions.
Sir, over to you, sir. Already we gave the introduction of you. So please take this session, sir. Sir, you are not audible for us.
Hello, all. Good evening. Give me 5 minutes. I'm making my logistics ready.
Okay,
Actually,
sir.
I'm thinking like it will be 6:30 p.m. IST. So I'm finishing my current meeting. I will join in give me like 5 to 10 minutes. I will be ready.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So every participant can take 5 minutes break because sir will join after 10 minutes.
Turn off your camera, Swati.
Madam, we have to fill feedback after every session, is it?
Yes, sir. After two sessions, we will share the link, sir. For
Okay,
two
okay.
sessions, we'll share. So for two sessions, we have to give the feedback, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Please, everyone join the session. Server is already in the.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mani. If everyone is on, let me know. We can start the session for today.
Okay, sir. Sir, you can start, sir. Everyone is there in online.
Sure. Okay. So the things like totally, I mean, AI now it is evolving, right? So how it will happen, right? I will talk in the term like both ways, like layman terms I will speak and technical terms also I will speak. So it will be easy for understanding for everyone. Okay. So before I get into that, let me introduce myself. Hi, this is Manikanta Lingamallu. I have like a 15 years of experience in banking domain, like retail banking, customer banking, mortgage, home lending. Like I worked for the three
Sorry
clients.
for the interruption. Sir,
Yes.
already we
Yes.
gave all these introductions, sir.
Oh, okay, great. Then we'll get into the topic.
Because
Okay.
I thought that you have already joined. I have seen you join, so that's why I give the introduction.
Okay, okay, fine. Good. If you guys complete, then fine. Okay, we'll move directly.
Okay.
Okay. So, coming to what is an LLM? I mean, you guys know, right? LLM is nothing but large language models. So, we'll talk about first I will talk about in layman terms. After that, I will move to technical terms. So, for suppose if we have, I mean, usually in our regular days, we'll have like some intelligent people with us, right? Who is very interested about everything. They want to know everything. Like earlier we call as a Google, right? BBC is something like nicknames we used to call. Like the people who know every information. If we ask them, they will tell that. So similarly, the term now what we are using now AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, whatever it is. Anything if you ask something relate some information, it will try to give the information to you. How it will give to you? That is based on the language you are asking it. Means like, say for suppose, if the person from India, he know like basic Hindi, whatever their regional languages. But if you go and ask in French, obviously they won't understand that one. So similarly, the system has to understand. We know that there is a binary language, but before that, to it will come. We are communicating with system using language English. Similarly, whatever the data we are loading into the databases, and we are giving a training to this one. But I mean, as I said like earlier, for suppose if your friend is there, he is very good know about like politics, stock trading, those things. But if you go and ask about cricket, he cannot answer, right? So the basically it will what LLM is do is like if it knows, it will tell you. If it don't know, it won't tell you. So that the training we has to give. That how we will give the training, I will go the next level. For suppose in technical terms, we call it as LLM is a like type of artificial intelligence. This has been trained on vast amounts of data. It can understand and generate human text like based on the pattern whatever we enter. The similarly it will give. For suppose if you enter some question, it will give like high technical terms. But if you mention like give me in a funny way, it will give in a like colloquial way, it will give you. If you ask like simple English understanding, then it will change it. So the thing is like based on how the way of you are asking, like a prompt, it was very important that the prompt also will come in future. So I will tell that one also. So it is based on the pattern how we are entering. So how it was learned is based on the reading, based on the given data to the system. So this will take it input and it will analyze it and it will generate the output. So this is the part of like a broader field called generative AI. So now everything we are talking about AI, now it is like whatever we are seeing at present, it is like a drop in the ocean. There is totally lot of there in front. So with focus on creating content and resembles the human output. That is the basic of LLM. So then we move to large language models, like how it is like in this. I will explain like what is LLM. That terms itself we will know, right? Large model language. Okay. So large means that the model has been trained with massive amount of data. Massive amount, like earlier we are talking about like terabytes and all. Now it is like petabyte, gigabyte. I mean, total. It was like total. We are moved out of our scope, out of the box. It is like we are dealing, because daily whatever we are dealing. See, when we talk about whenever we are using our smartphones, right? With the smartphones, total social media, WhatsApp, everything. In when coming to the WhatsApp or these things, we will have like an structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, like types of data is there. If data was present, I mean like database, if you know that there is a relational databases were there and non-relational database were there, NoSQL, DynamoDB. There are a lot of databases at present we have. In the vast, we are using Teradata, huge collection of data, complex things we are using Oracle and all. When cloud related databases coming, then Terra, Snowflake, Aurora, Amazon basic one, Aurora is there. Like this number of databases were present, but most of the databases will have the structured information. If structured information is there, it will be easily, we can analyze, we can find the data, we can retrieve, we can extract the data. But if unstructured data is there, how we will be process that data? Like when we go into the ETL, there is a concept of extract, transform, load. So in the business perspective, like outside of the like actually at present what we are dealing current environment, the requirements will be like our business requirements will be like, see, there will be huge data centers. Most of the data is like unstructured only will be there. We has to do the fine tuning those data. How we are doing the data, it will be like based on the transform business requirements we has to understand. Then we will be transform the data and we will load the data into the targets. Similar example, the real-time perspective, whatever we are doing, you are going to the Google and you are typing something and you will get some image like random of, you are asking for one but it will give like hundreds of the thing. But that was accurate or not, how we will be knowing, how we will be justify whether that information is correct or not. So the same thing we are coming to the AI, because AI is at present small, I mean initial stages, because the information whatever we are training to it, it has to will give the output based on how we have trained it. So, uh, so that is the high level to understand how we are trying the data here, how we are getting the data. So, with terms of large, like as I said, like we has to deal with the massive amount of data, and it's like, for suppose if we stick to currently how we are using like basic our students perspective, college perspective, like if we take like we are talk like millions billions of words from books, right, and website articles and model. And with respect to model, it is nothing but set of instructions and algorithms that heads the AI. This is the one I was telling that transformation earlier. So we has to understand our requirement and we has to make it to be useful. So that part will happen at this model stage. So it will understand and generate the language. For suppose if you think like everyone like the biryani, right? So how it will be understanding? See, for suppose if I tell the biryani, it won't understand because I didn't give a training to it. The training is nothing but the algorithm what we are creating behind the screen. Similarly, that was like when we ask something, it has to create everything in a presentable, meaningful text. And coming to that language, language is all about words, sentences, paraphrasing, paragraphs, how you are making it to understand. Basically, like how we are communicating. Initially, I have said, right, the binary language, how the systems will communicate. We will use our English and we will do that transformation to understand it one. So how you communicate with your friends, either text or emails or social media. Now everything is like a video. I mean, we are communicating using video also instead of text, images, and all. Now we are doing that. So you guys understand, right? What is LLM stands for? This is the one. So with respect to coming to technical definition, LMLs are language models made up of neural network with billions of parameters that are trained by self-supervised learning and vast amount of unlabeled text. Simple, basic thing I have said, right? We are giving the data, we are giving an algorithm to tune it, process it, and come to the presentable thing. And how this LLM will works. For suppose, if we know basic things, right? For suppose, we'll tell that ocean is deep, sky is blue, like that. We know that. When we talk, for suppose if you give to AI, it is we ask, right? Just type or we'll ask something like the sky is dash 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 something. If we ask that, obviously the LLM, the architecture, the brain, it will be identify that what we are asking, because the sky, it will take like first the two words, what is that? It will fill the sentence. How our brain works, right? Like for suppose we won't read whole the text, I mean whole the word from from first to starting. We usually read the words like first letter, last letter, in between we will imagine. The similarly, the AI is trained in such a way that if any sentences are available, if any whatever the data we has loaded into that, so it will read that from there and it will give directly that's okay. Then it will predict and tell that the sky is, the next word is like a blue. But if we give like new things, for suppose if I ask my personal information something, obviously it won't cannot tell because it is not trained. So like that it will be. So for example, if we take LLMs like GP4 operated based on complex neural networks trained on the vast amounts of text data. In this LLM, actually, there are two phases there. On the screen. You can see that training phase and inference phase. So when coming to the training phase, there are actually 4 stages. I mean, like 4 stages or 4 phases we have. First is data collection. Here, what we do is we'll gather diverse text from various sources. And second stage is pre-processing, which means cleaning and tokenizing text data into numerical representations. Step 3, model architecture, which is nothing but designing the neural network structure, typically a transformer. Step 4, training, is adjusting model parameters by predicting the next word in sentences. By this training phase, LLMs are being trained on vast amount of data to the further predictions. When we move to the next phase, inference phase. Again, in this inference phase also, we have 4 stages. One is input processing, generating output, sampling, post-processing. Input processing means tokenizing and converting the input text into embeddings. In generating output, we will be using the model to predict and generate the next words. In sampling, we will be selecting words from predicted probability distribution. And post-processing, it converting generated tokens, whatever we happened in the previous stages, it will be make these tokens into a readable text. After this first phase, like training phase and our inference phase, the LLMs will recognize the pattern, sample content, and give predictions. The input, the example which I have said, right? The one, if we give the training with correct input, it will give like that. For suppose if I tell that the sky is deep instead of blue, okay, then if we give that information, automatically when someone search for that, it will give like the sky is means it will tell the deep. It's a wrong. It's not valid. So we has to be very careful while giving the training for this LLM, like what exactly it has to come as output. Now we deconstruct the LLM. So in this LLM deconstruction, actually there are like 3 stages are there. One is like attention mechanism, embeddings, and transformers. So in attention mechanism, it allows the model to focus on relevant part of the input text, improving its understanding of context and meaning. This is like our input. Whatever we give, it has to read that one. First of all, it has to read that and it has to understand properly. And next one is embedding. This is the numerical representation of words that capture their meaning and relationship. And the transformers are the architecture that uses self-attention to process input data in parallel, making it more efficient and more powerful. So when we move to examples, like at present we are doing, right, exam chatting. So like the prompt can be like, for suppose the same thing. Okay, better we'll change to different example. It will be easy. So for suppose if I ask, for suppose in India, like if we ask what is the capital of India, everyone say like New Delhi. But if I ask capital of Japan, who read that one, they may tell that one, but who don't know that one, they cannot tell that. So it is based on if we feed like what all the capitals of all the countries in our world, then only that information will be coming. Next one is like writing. So I believe everyone has tried by now. Like you are asking, write a story, that one, and it will start giving the story. If we tell that, for suppose, if I want like a story, like I just type like I want the story, create like a 10 sentence using numbers 1 to 10, use that one and create that one. Then it will give me like one random story. But I will ask that, no, I want like an adventure story. Then similarly it will use that 1 to 10 numbers and will write an adventure story. If I ask like funny story, it will change. So this algorithms, I will show that algorithm also in the next slides, how we will deal, how it will be understanding those things under. And next thing is like answering, right? Whatever that we'll ask, it will give the output. For suppose if any like like chemical students or biological students or someone, if anyone they are asking for related to their question, because this information, right? For suppose if I tell that photosynthesis, if photosynthesis means obviously the already we have like feeded the proper textbooks, right? So it will be go read that one, what is the photosynthesis, and it will tell that it is like the plants use sunlight to make food, carbon dioxide, those things, and like that it will give that understandable matter. It will give that one. That is like this one. When we coming to types of LLMs, so in LLMs we have first are like a base model. These are like a trained on a wide range of data and can perform like general understanding language understanding and generate task. They aren't specialized for any particular type of instructions, but these are versatile. These are the basic ones which we are using, like at present we are using what are the free AIs we are using, mostly related to these it will be, but we'll can do our basic daily to daily works and all we can manage with that. For example, like GPT-3, it is like versatile, and it will be able to generate coherent and contextually relevant text and all it will generate. And next one is like instruction based models. These are like very fine tuned, and it will take based on the specific instructions, and it will be more efficient than the base LLMs. So these are like, they will understand and it will execute task based on what the prompts which we given. So it is all based on the user, how they are going to ask them, and how we have trained them, and how it will be generate the answers. For suppose, if we consider, like, see, T5, we usually call T5 like means like T5 is like text to text transformer. What it will do is like it will converts all. NLP means like natural language processing, we just call like NLP. So it will converts all natural language problems into text to text to format, and it make it like very highly versatile of task like transformation, summarization, question answering, those things. uh Similarly, we have like a GPT, right? That was like a tailored to follow specific user instructions better and provide more useful and safe responses. So the safe responses means like same thing, like what I have said, like how we have trained, which we are not biased, the how the algorithms strongly we have made secured, how efficient information we have feeded into the system, like that it will be. So how can we, how this and all, like it is helping us, right? A simple thing like for suppose if our case, like when we, like our professionals, like we usually sit and write like our coding, right? It will be like thousands of lines we has to do every time. uh, Sometimes we may take the help from this, and we can ask that, we can enter that one, hey, can you create the loop of this one? So then it will give like a sample of code it will be given. So we need not to do everything from the scratch, like importing, for suppose if I use the PySpark and all, like if I use that one, automatically it will import my all libraries to me. I need not to sit and write import PySpark SQL dot this command, those things and all need not to write. Similarly, like when we take the students also, say students when they're preparing for these exams and all, so they, if they didn't understand some topic, or you see, they follow one type of publication, but when they want to understand, they want to learn more thing, they can ask it. AI can help giving them more information, advanced information it will give. Now everyone are content creators only at present, right? So at present, you know, right, for YouTube or Instagram, whatever, everywhere the information, they just making the videos using the AI. They are asking that ideas, they are asking the content, they are asking dialogues, they're, see, totally the video itself, it was making like animation, everything it was creating. So for marketing strategies, how the market was in the picture, which for suppose if you take the stock trading, if I give this particular one, what is the prediction of that one, what is the background, what is that one, everything we can take that one. So And at present, most companies are implementing this AI, like chatbot. You may at present, if you connect, like they will be telling like 24/7 chatbots are there. So you connect and you can enter that information. For suppose like in WhatsApp also it has, they have generated, they giving like 1 to 10 some numbers, they will giving that explanation there. What is that one? If you enter one, then it will go your base information. If you want to get your account number, instead of you are connecting to the real person, now basic things and all it can be happening. And here actually we want to cancel our information also. We want to cancel information also. We want to direct to anything. We need not to connect. If we buy something, we directly click the customer support, then automatically this chatbot will open. It will ask you, you have placed this order like 3 months before, 6 months before order. So you want me to, what you want to do on this particular order? You want to return, or you want to replace, or you want to do some price adjustments, whatever. It will be like, we need not to wait for one person. Automatically here itself everything will be happening because of this AI. So this is high level basic of AI. Everyone call AI, but behind the AI, what is happening is the help of this LLM, how it will be happens. So when we are talked about like LLMs, right? That's good. That is basic thing we have done. But actually, how we are doing the fine tuning, right? Because I have said, right, the model in LLM, there is a model there. Actually, we'll do this, all this architecture, algorithms, the tuning part, everything will come under that particular area. How actually we do. So this is like we are adapting. Actually, you earlier also have said, right? We has to do the pre-training. We has to do it one for anything, right? Without giving a training, nothing cannot be performed. Like maybe like a born talent person, that is different case. But usually, if we has to do that for anything, we has to take. For that, we has to give a training. That is called like training. But before like warm up, you consider like a warm up. Okay, that is the pre-training model. Okay, so what in this pre-trained model actually we'll do is like first we take some pre-trained model for performing a specific task. Okay, and we'll give the training on a smaller specific data set. Why we first initially we start like a small data set is because first we has to see directly if we give uh, this small thing, right? Simple thing. We in our terms we call like the kid whoever born. We directly won't keep that heavy food. First, we'll start with milk. After that, mashed fruits. After that, we'll come to white rice, some rice or grains, and after that, we'll mix the contents and we give. Similarly, we'll start for any start one. We'll start like a specific, small and specific data, and it helps model perform like better on like specialized task like that we'll do. So for actually this for fine tuning, two things are very important. That is like one is facts and other one is opinions. Oh, these will two will be like a play critical role. Uh, when we fine tune any large language model, after with based on these two things only, it will the results become more effective. So for suppose like we are taking a pre-trained existing model like GPT-3 and we'll start fine tuning it for a particular use case. For example, now ChatGPT is there. To use an analogy here, GPT-3 is like well, first of all, we consider it is like a GPT-3 is like a raw diamond. Okay, we are getting from the earth. Okay, but you know, right? It will have it won't be look like a diamond. It will be like some rock or something, but it have some shiny, and it will be there is no clear edges or something. It is, but when you are taking that particular this one, and we start like fine tune, means like we are doing the transforming into a bit more practical, that you can put on a like once that output of the one you can use it like that will become more precious, right? So similarly, like the now whatever we are using a GPT-3, that is a base one, we are transforming it to the fine-tuned model, right? GPT 3.5 Turbo. So we give us like for suppose chat GPT, any other incredible applications, we are seeing this. Give me a second. Sorry, yes. So now we discuss like why we has to do fine tuning and all, right? Now we will discuss about like how we will be doing the fine tuning, right? There are actually three types, three ways we have. One is like self-supervised, supervised, reinforcement learning. So when we take like self-supervised, uh, we take like a big collection of text that is called like a training corpus, and this model will uh, learns by predicting missing parts of the text on its own. Like for suppose I have said earlier, like the sky is, then how it will be based on whatever the data we have already entered, based on that it will do it. So this way, this model teaches its patterns and meanings from the text. So when we move to the supervised, this is another way like a fine tuning using a data set of inputs and outputs. Means this is kind of like a structure. This is like semi-structured, and this is like a structure. For suppose if I ask a question, I have the question and I have the answer here. It will be easily will give that one, because uh, this one is like we are already previously we are entering all the information. So like without this fine tuning, the model might give like incomplete or unrelated answers. So this fine tuning helps this model learn how to answer the questions better. So like these all language models, right, were designed to complete the text. We need to reformat the training data into structure they understand. So like this way, and like when we come to the real perspective, like there are multiple data formats we'll use, not like only .txt, .docs, those things and all. We'll use like park files, we'll use parquet we call, and JSON we call. There are multiple formats we'll use, and we will get the things to be done. So what will happen is this data sets into the prompts, this will learn that one, will give a training. So, and next we will move to the reinforcement learning. And again, in this one also, it is like a 3 stages we have. One is supervised fine tuning. So here also same, the collecting a trained data set and fine tune the model using this data to improve its initial performance. And this is like a trained reward model. This reward model scores like either good or bad based on the responses. For suppose, like if user prompts to generate multiple responses, I mean the similar example I have said initial, right? Like for suppose you go into Google or Bing or whatever search engine, or if you go to ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, whatever, you will be asking some question, but it will give multiple results. But who will be deciding that one, whether it was accurate or not? Because if the person, by seeing that the result, you will be understanding that, okay, this is the correct one, whatever I have asked, and it was given, it was an accurate. So this one, in this model, how it will be happened is, while training phase, the testers, they will be giving like prompts, so multiple responses it will come. So based on all the responses it will come, then the testers will rank the responses like from worst to the best. Means like for suppose if you search like simple language, anything like water is tasteless or something, we know that one. But when we, that one, water is which color, it will give like a white, blue, green, yellow. So the tester who is performing there, he will have the set of instructions, how it is like he should use his out of box, and he has to think. It's not just like, okay, the instructions were, we are finalized, we has to give this one or not. That is one. If that tester is like biased, he if he messed up, for suppose if he give sunrises west, if he give that high ranking for that sunrises west, so then when the output comes, it will give like an sunrises west will be the correct. So it has to be in a proper way. So we will be giving like a worst to best we will give. So if we give worst, then what will happen is this the algorithm will be, we when we teach that this algorithm, it will be understanding that, and when we ask that next time, if it was next time, it won't generate that worst answer. It will give only the good best answers. Like that, it will be training reward model will work. And next one is like, this is a reinforcement learning with PPO. PPO is nothing but like an algorithm. So how this model will work, like similar, this one also will give like a prompt, and it will generate the response, and again we will be ranking it, and again that feedback will be go back, and it will be learning that one. So next time it will give that like better output every time. I mean, like based on how we are giving a training to this one. So next, like what are the strategies for effective finding? Like we have like layer phrasing, learning rate scheduling, data augmentation. Mainly these are significantly enhance the fine-tuning process. These techniques help in preventing like overfitting and ensure that the model learns effectively from the provided data. So the common thing you guys understand, right? The basic thing is like how we are load the information. The similarly I have said like when we take that ETL, right? Total extract transform load. So we'll have like a huge vast chunks of data information we have. Most of the data currently we are dealing like unstructured. Most of the thing is like unmeaningful. So we has to deal this all the information and we has to tune that one and we has to process that and we have to load in such a way so when that prompt happen based on the user input, the system algorithms will process it and it will give the information like presentable output. And coming to agent architectures, these are main crucial and critical role. How these our models are there, right? How they were interact with their environment. So, like for example, I mean, understanding these different architectures is like very important for selecting the appropriate model for specific task. I mean, for suppose if you see that whatever these architectures are available, it is not like stages. Okay. When we go to LLM, we saw that stages. When we go to fine tuning, we saw the stages. But when we talk about these architectures, it is not like stages. It is like, for suppose if we see this first two will deal based on reflection concept. So, like each architecture has own specification and own prominence. It's based on what is our requirement. There we will be using this and we will be implementing this one. And if anyone interested want to do the hands-on how actually the fine tuning happens, this is the one. This is kind of it's a open source only, but we won't have like more information, but you can use this one and you can use Google it or something and you can get the data. You can load it. You can see this is the playground actually, where we will be loading all the information because I don't want to share actual information how we do. That was not security purpose we cannot do. That's why I kept like a basic screenshot here. So you can use this one instructlab.ai. You can log into this. I mean, for logging in, there it is like GitHub. If you have like GitHub login, you can use that one and you can log in here. So if you don't have, like use the GitHub URL. I mean, go to create account in a GitHub and you can use that one. What will be like, you cannot directly log in and again, it will ask you to join the community and you have to join the community and you can come here and you can download unstructured data it will be, so you can get the data initially. Like you can run that one like how the examples I have given, right? Some information will be there. So if you run, obviously it will give like an invalid information only. Invalid, I mean like some junk output it will give. So then what we has to do is we will be there again, we'll do that fine tuning means nothing but okay, if that one, if we will be giving a rankings, we will be changing that prompt. If it given like this, then update to this information, then again we'll run the whole process. Then the output will come in a presentable format, like what exactly we are want that one. That will be it here. And coming to the conclusion, so like first of all, I mean, this optimization of fine-tuning strategies are like for evaluating large language model agent architectures is like a multi-facet challenge. By leveraging effective approaches and continuously refining our methods, I always tell that, right, we has to do refine, because whatever the at present we have, it was like very early stages. There's still lot of refinement is there in progress. There are few lot of researches are happening. Based on this refinement, based on the tuning, uh, based this only, we can unlock like full potential of generative AI. At present, whatever we are saying, like it's like a budding stage. That's it from my side.
Dear participants, any queries are there, please type in chat box.
So can you able to hear me? Hello.
Asif sir, please tell me.
Yeah, I've got a question, sir. How can the performance of these fine-tuned LLMs can be effectively evaluated?
I mean, see, for this one, it is like, see, not one thing, right? So, for suppose, like first, it will be like I said, right? It will be based on like multiple stages, based on the testing, how we will be achieving the intended purpose, right? For suppose, the thing is like first, we has to decide like what model is supposed to do after fine tuning, like answering questions, summarizing text, or generative creative content. So first we'll decide. After that, we'll be creating or collecting examples, like nothing but it's a test data. So uh, the model, whatever we have selected, that should be handling that one. I mean, similarly, like for suppose, like in real time, in real use, how it is. We will be selecting that test database. I think we has to select in such a way that it was has to be at present whatever it is happening, not like an imagination. Okay, at present, first initial stage, I always telling, right? So first we has to go with a small information. We has to see that, and after that, when we do that processing, we has to see that responses, those are correct or expected answers we are getting. For suppose, if we asked a question correctly, and we are how we are getting that answers, and we has to make a note of those points. And after that, what we'll do, that we will be checking for accuracy. So the answers, how many answers were correct? If those were correct, then we will be giving the score or ranking. So based on that, we call it like a precision, right? So accurate. So if that answers were an accurate, then we will be giving like a high ranking, the best ranking we will give. So similarly, the same thing, all right? So with those, doing all those things, and next, with all this one, and again, we will be giving the feedback to that, what are the answers we are getting, and we see that quality and how much the data is useful. I mean, like how much answers are useful to us. Like this, we can do this fine tuning of LLMs.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Sir,
you.
I have another question. Can I ask?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Now, suppose we have a LLM. We fed the data regarding a lot of legal cases. Okay. So we fed in a lot of papers, a lot of articles, etc., pertaining to law. Now, law deals with all kinds of domains, right? Medical domain, property domain, inheritance domain, whatever, lot of domains. Now, suppose this LLM has the capability of, summarizing and also answering questions. Now, if I ask some questions regarding a summary that this LLM has generated, now, if the knowledge that I have given does not contain the answer to these questions that I'm trying to ask, because summary. So it fails in a lot of cases, right? A lot of these legal, domain. It
Not
fails in,
only legal
yeah.
domain, for suppose if you take, that's what I was telling, right? What the data, how we are feeding it, how we are training it, how the users entering that one. See, simple thing, right? When I spoke about the same thing, right? We are telling how we are giving it training. For suppose if I said sky is blue, sky is deep, two things I have said. Similar thing, right? That also, if we give the information accurately, if I was training it, that's what I said, like in the fine tuning, if you see that an approach here, if you see here, like input output, this approach, and when we say like train or reward model, the same thing, like if we give accurate information input, I mean, if we have feed it, if we have trained that one, if we have loaded that one correctly, our output will come correctly. And how it will come is based on the algorithms we have entered. See, that's what I said, right? Initially, first example, if our friend, he is very interested in politics, stock market, he will, if you go and ask him question thing, he will answer accurately. But if we go and ask about cricket, obviously he don't know, but he want to tell something, he will bluff there and he will give some information that won't be inaccurate. How we will be know whether it is an accurate or not? It is based on the rankings, the human rankings I have said, right? So so here here actually we will be ranking that particular area. So we will be doing that rewarding there. So based on the response, whatever get. Now, as you asked, like the legal whatever is the summary, whatever is given, obviously if it was coming is wrong, then what we has to do is we has to do that feedback. We will be giving the feedback as it was not accurate. Then what system will be understanding that yes, this is wrong, means then it will be marked as a low score. Then when it marked as a low score, if the similar question when we ask next time, it will give, it won't give that same answer because it is already marked as a low. So then it will search for the best score and it will give the best score output.
I understand, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Now, the other thing is, how is ChatGPT able to give correct answers in so many domains? Does it have so much knowledge that is fed from so many different domains? How is it able to accurately give us the answers?
it's not intelligence of ChatGPT. I'm telling, right? It's the intelligence of how the training has happened to that. How much information. So, okay, a simple example, right? For suppose, see, now AI using initial stages now only. But if you know that why Google search is more accurate compared to the Bing search and AVG search.
Because it has been trained a lot.
Same thing. That you got the answer, right?
Right.
That's it. It's
Okay.
based on the training. See, that's what I'm telling, right? How we are trained, right? See, if for suppose if you ask me like a banking domain I have worked, but if someone coming tomorrow, if I want to get into new project, okay, so my project is completing, I has to get into new project. There, it was like insurance domain or retail domain. Okay,
Yeah.
with my experience, if someone ask me that, boss, this one already this in customer banking, we are making these modules, we are looking for a help. I can help there. Okay, I can tell that boss, if you click here, this should be happen there. If anything, we mainly the customers looking in this environment, these type of things and these feedbacks they want, this information they want. But when coming to insurance domain or retail domain or whatever other domains, I can give some information, but not accurate information.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
see, the thing I'm wondering is, see, ChatGPT is already trained, right? So suppose I can only ask questions now. So who actually trained it and for how many years? How much reinforcement has happened? So who judges all that? Is it still being trained or is it already
Right.
stopped being trained? Yeah.
No, there is nothing try and stops. It's basic thing, right? We has to learn every day. There is nothing we have achieved something, right? We has to fine tune ourselves. It is like basic common thing, right? How we are learning. Now when we coming to our teaching field also, we cannot rely on single book. See, for suppose if you take basic thing, I have tell like usually when I was studying my BTech like 2003, okay, at the time for C and data structures, they usually say like Balaguru Swami is the Bible for that one. They used to tell.
Right.
If we really complete that book, is that enough to outperform C and data structures? No.
No. Yeah.
That is the basic understanding. That is easily understanding because of our that was like regional language. I mean, like it will be the language, whatever it has mentioned, it was easily to understand to us.
Correct.
Similarly, this whatever the legal, medical, whatever you said the terms, right? You know,
Right.
right? Legal, I don't think. For suppose if a Supreme Court judge or someone also, nobody has read all the books. It will
Correct.
be like based on the case perspective, they will be reading that books and they will be doing giving the result. And again, the results also same simple example, right? How this AI, the training, the judge, he will be reading that books and he will be understanding that and he will be coming that algorithm is nothing but the model whatever we are creeping that he will be thinking, he will be has to understand whether whatever the books he has understand, those are accurately matching to this one. See, for suppose he is dealing a case and he is reading jet case one and he come and give that verdict for a case, is it will be accurate? No.
Yeah. Correct.
That's what.
Yeah. So, but see, at what point will a language model become large language model? How large is large? How do we judge that?
There is no restrictions. There is no limitation.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Because
Thank you.
see, now the information you are saying, right? I mean, I guess I mean, most of our participants are in teaching field and the lecturers are students. If students, for sure, means like they won't even understand the terms what I will tell, because you remember, right? Up to 2007, I mean 2003, 2004 time, I usually use that dial-up modem in my home to get
Right.
that. That is not even 1 Mbps speed, right?
Correct.
Once 2G, 3G has come, we reserve the Tatkal tickets in 3G speed itself.
Right.
Now we are dealing with a broadband of 200 Mbps, 500 Mbps, 1 terabyte speed, gigabyte speeds we are dealing now. The data, I mean, it is like everything is based on the evaluation, like how much infrastructure is available. Based on that, everything will be prepared. Earlier, the web pages or something, it will be load just on this dial-up modem also, it is loading. But if you keep the dial-up modem speed now, and if you want to load basic Google website also, it won't even load now, because
Right.
it was embedded with lot of thing. Means the same thing, right? We
Right.
are trained in such a way that we has to achieve this one, we has to change our infrastructure.
Right. Right.
Similarly, here also in AI, it is like, see, I was said everything like a basic. I didn't even said total technical terms, total technically, I didn't go inside. Because see, if I go into technical for this fine tuning alone, I mean LLM alone, at least I need 20 to 25 hours of continuous teaching. I has to do that one.
Right.
Similarly, when we go for fine tuning, it is a very vast topic. I mean, I cannot cover all those things here. That's why I just give like a high level. It will be easy if you guys go and Google it. It will be help you. I mean, see, a simple thing, right? Okay, yeah, I listen this time. Okay, then it will be feel like, okay, it is like I know this one, and it will be create much comfortable to you, so you can go and deep dive into it. That is
Right.
the only main my motive to presenting this information here.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dear participants, any questionnaires from your end? Uma Shankar sir, I think we have having questionnaire in chat box. Please,
Yes, good evening, sir.
yeah. Tell me, ma'am, Sharma ma'am.
Yeah, will you give the explanation of layer freezing and dropout? What is the difference of this layer freezing and dropout, sir? Sir, have you heard my question? Can you give the difference of layer freezing and dropout? Sir?
Sir has some busy. All of you on your videos, you can take one snapshot.
Please everyone on your video once we will take a picture with guest lecture.
I think we need to stop the screen sharing, isn't it? To take the
Video option is disabled for users.
Please everyone on the video.
Swati ma'am, please vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's been an absolute honor to have Mr. Manikanta Lingamalu with us today. On behalf of everyone here, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for sharing your valuable insights and expertise. Your session on fine tuning with the evolving LLM and agent architecture for generative AI has truly been enlightening and inspiring. We deeply appreciate the time and effort you have taken to engage with us, and we hope to have more opportunities to learn from you in the future. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for making me part of this. Thank you. Sorry, actually I had to jump into meeting, so sorry, that's why I was stopping this. Thank you.
One picture with you, sir. Please on the.
Okay, thank you to all. We will shortly you can share the feedback. Already shared in the WhatsApp group the feedback. All of you fill in the feedback, and also every session will be take the attendance from the Zoom only.
Hello,
Thank
sir.
you.
Sir. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am, please tell me.
Yeah, ma'am. Could you please share the recording lecture? Recording
Yes,
video.
yes, ma'am. By tomorrow we will share it to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So please, everyone, give the feedbacks for 2 sessions.
Okay.
And the 80% attendance is needed for the certificate.
Okay.
Dear participants, 1 second reminder, 80% attendance will be required. Every session feedback will be required. One assessment will be required and 1 minute video, feedback video. So these are the mandatory for the all online ATAL FDP. Thank you to one and all.